day the doctor confirmed Eli's leukemia had returned, I didn't cry. I remember staring at the grainy gray scan, trying to blink away the meaning. But the words wouldn't vanish. It's back. I'd spent 4 years preparing for this. 4 years juggling part-time shifts, side jobs, online gigs, selling everything from my old engagement ring to my childhood comic collection. Anything to get Eli the fighting chance he deserved. Every cent had a purpose. Every sacrifice had a name. Eli. He was 7 now, still so small, too light for his age, but so strong. He smiled even when they poked his veins, called me his lion mom, said it like I had magic. We needed $60,000 for the specialized immunotherapy trial in Seattle. We'd hit 58. My last check was due the next morning. I hadn't told Eli yet that we were going. He loved surprises. I was going to put plane tickets in his lunchbox with a drawing of a lion. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video. That night I fell asleep curled around him on the couch, the heating low to save money, but his arms around my waist like I was everything. I was woken up by a phone ping. Hey, sweetie, just letting you know we booked everything for Kira's Maldives trip. The suite is stunning. We'll send pics. Oh, and we borrowed the money from the family account. Family comes first, not you. My throat closed before I could even scream. I sat up so fast Eli stirred. Mommy? I kissed his forehead and told him to sleep. Then I grabbed my phone, opened the banking app and stared. $207. That's what was left. The account I'd locked. The one I'd told my parents not to touch. I'd opened it under my name, but made the mistake of listing Mom as an emergency contact after she faked a panic attack last year and guilted me into it. They'd found a way in. They stole everything. Everything I'd bled for. I called my mother. She answered on the third ring like she was at a spa. Darla, don't be so dramatic. You can always save again. I was shaking. He needs that money for the trial. It's in 3 days. My dad's voice cut in, loudspeaker. Then tell your little brat to wait. Kyra's been planning this vacation for years. You know how stressed she gets. Mental health is health, too. I couldn't breathe. You used my son's cancer fund to send Kira to a resort? She's your sister, my mom snapped. She deserves joy. And frankly, you've been acting like you're the only one with problems. We raised you. You owe us. You owe us that money, my dad barked. If we hadn't housed you when you were pregnant, you'd be in a shelter. That boy should be grateful we even acknowledge him. My hand was clenching the phone so tight my knuckles went white. I worked for every dollar. You didn't give me a cent. And now he might die. Oh, don't be so melodramatic. If he dies, that's on you for not working harder, Mom said and hung up. I stood frozen for a full 5 minutes. Then I quietly walked to the bathroom, threw up, wiped my face, and came back to find Eli clutching my scarf in his sleep. I didn't call the hospital that day. I didn't cancel the trial. Instead, I called someone else. Carmen. She was an old classmate who now worked freelance cybersecurity and fraud detection for corporations. We'd lost touch after school, but I'd helped her once when her dog got sick, paid half the vet bill when her paycheck bounced. She never forgot. I sent her everything, screenshots, the bank records, voice recordings from past conversations. My parents had no idea I'd kept evidence every time they threatened to reclaim money from me or made me sign temporary loans to cover my sister's car upgrades. Carmen texted me back with a skull emoji and a single word. War. That night, I tucked Eli into bed and whispered, "Want to hear a secret?" He grinned sleepily. Always. We're still going to Seattle. Mommy's just got a few lions to hunt first. And he laughed. Not because he knew what I meant, but because he believed I could. He always had. And this time I would prove him right. The next morning, I didn't cry. I got dressed, braided Eli's hair gently, packed his favorite plush lion in his backpack, then dropped him off at school with a kiss on his forehead and a promise I would keep. You'll be roaring in Seattle soon. Then I sat in front of my laptop with Carmen on a video call. She looked like she hadn't slept. Her coffee was nearly empty, her fingers flying across the keyboard like a sniper in a war zone. They transferred the funds to a joint vacation card in Kyra's name, not even smart about it. Their digital footprint is embarrassing. They've been using the money all night. Airport lounge passes, luxury upgrades, spa appointments booked for next week. I've got all the logs. I clenched my jaw. Can we reverse it? Not legally. It's a shared account under your mother's access now. But, she smiled slowly, we can crack them. I leaned in. Tell me. Within hours, we compiled a timeline, digital logs and screenshots of every message my parents had ever sent, guilting me about Eli, using phrases like, your mistake, we gave you life, you owe us. Don't expect us to raise your sick kid. And Kyra's vacation is therapy. I uploaded all of it into a folder labeled Unmasked. And then came the idea that changed everything. I remembered my mom's Facebook addiction, how she curated her online life like she was the queen of suburbia, always posting pictures of her loving family, always tagging Kyra with captions like, my two angels wouldn't be here without them. I knew exactly what image they were desperate to maintain, which meant I knew where to strike. So I crafted a single message and sent it to the group chat titled Family Only. It was a photo of Eli from last night, his tiny body curled on our broken couch, hugging his lion, and below it, my message. He asked if Nana and Papa still love him. I didn't know what to say. Nothing for 10 minutes. Then, Mom, don't guilt trip us, darling. This is low. Dad, we did what we had to for the family. Kira, don't involve me. I needed the break. Mom again. If you say anything public, you'll regret it. Remember who raised you. I smiled, because that threat, that was exactly what I needed. Carmen helped me schedule a glitch. My mom's Facebook page was auto-synced to an old photo dump folder I had access to. Years ago, I'd set it up for her when she didn't know how to back up her phone. She'd never changed the settings. With one click, dozens of screenshots from our folder, texts, bank logs, recordings, slipped quietly into her family album folder. And when she proudly posted a new vacation selfie captioned, "Nothing like peace and love with my favorite daughter," all the synced posts flooded in, with no warning. People saw everything. Wait, you stole your grandson's cancer money for a spa trip? You're a monster. Who the hell does that to a sick kid? Within minutes, her comment section went from adoration to disgust. Her church friends unfollowed her. Her bridge club group chat booted her out. Even Kyra's influencer friends began tagging her in how not to be a human memes. My dad called me, screaming, "I will sue you!" I put him on speaker and said nothing. Just let Eli's quiet coughing fill the background. Then I hung up. Later that day, Carmen called me again. They're panicking, trying to delete everything, but the posts are already out there. Screenshotted, saved, shared. Your mom's local women's group? They've blocked her. Kyra's PR client dropped her, and I found something else. What? She smirked. You remember your parents said they helped you raise Eli? Yeah. Well, they filed their taxes 2 years ago, claiming him as a dependent. Fraud. On a year they didn't even see him. I blinked. That's a felony. Exactly, and I know someone in the state auditor's office who'd love a chat. I didn't report them. Not yet. Because sometimes silence is sharper. That night, as I held Eli while he slept, I got a ping. A message from my mom. We didn't know it was this serious. Just tell us what to do. Another ping. Tell the world you lied. Delete everything. Then another. We'll pay the money back. Please. I stared at the phone and slowly typed back. He'll still go to Seattle. You just won't be a part of the story anymore. And then I blocked the number. Because when someone steals your son's breath just to buy comfort, you don't give them another breath of your life. You let them suffocate in their silence. 3 months later, Eli's breath came easier. The treatment had started in Seattle, thanks to a grant from a foundation that helped single parents with medically vulnerable children and a private donation from a stranger who had seen our story shared by one of Mom's ex-friends. We were finally standing on solid ground again. Not comfortably, but solid. I worked double shifts at a bakery during the week and cleaned an office building on weekends. I slept 4 hours a night. I never told Eli about the insomnia, the leg cramps, the stack of unpaid bills still waiting. He only needed to know one thing. His mom would fight and win. One day in the hospital, the nurse pulled me aside and whispered, "Someone's been calling every day asking to pay the rest of the treatment anonymously." They wouldn't give a name, but I recognized the voice. It was my father. I said nothing. Because the real price wasn't money, it was presence, and they'd already made their choice. Back in our hometown, the fallout continued. My parents were still being dragged in local Facebook groups. The community, who once called them perfect grandparents, now whispered when they walked into stores. Someone keyed their SUV. A woman at their church publicly asked if they planned to steal from any more sick kids. But the worst was Kira. She lost 2 brand deals. Her Instagram went from polished reels of blessed life to damage control apologies that no one believed. She tried to claim I'd forged the screenshots, but then Carmen released the original metadata, proving otherwise. Kira posted a teary video begging for forgiveness. It got stitched with side-by-side footage of Eli coughing during his treatment. And it was Kira who got exiled next. She messaged me once, just once. I didn't know they'd drain all of it. I thought they'd leave some. I didn't reply. Because some doesn't keep a child alive. Some doesn't cover radiation. Some doesn't stop cancer. Weeks later, I got a letter in the mail. No return address, but I knew the handwriting. It was Mom's. Inside was a folded picture of her and Dad from before it, all standing in front of their house, smiling. On the back, in smudged ink, she'd written, "We thought we could buy our way back in. Turns out we were never invited again. You win." That was the first time I laughed in months, because this wasn't about winning. It was about showing them that taking my silence for weakness was their final mistake. I had always been quiet. The one who cleaned the dishes at family events while Kira posed for pictures. The one who apologized for her child's presence. The one who handed over my last $5 because Mom said, "You'll always have less, you should be used to it." But now, I wasn't quiet. I wasn't small. And I definitely wasn't theirs. Eli and I moved to a smaller apartment near the water. He made friends. He ran faster. He laughed harder. One evening while he was asleep, I opened an old shared photo folder from my family. It was still active, still connected to my mom's cloud. Dozens of images loaded slowly, family dinners I hadn't been invited to, Christmases where my name wasn't mentioned, baby showers I wasn't even told about. But in the newest album titled Memories We Keep, there was a blank space, a photo slot where someone had tried to drag in a picture and then deleted it. Its label read, "Darla Eli 2020," before she vanished. I closed the folder. Because we hadn't vanished. We'd just stopped waiting to be seen. And while they clung to photos, memories, and the guilt that grew heavier with each passing day, we lived. In light. In freedom. In truth. And in a world where no one ever again told my son he was less than family. Because now, we were our own family. And this time, no one was stealing from it. Not ever again. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.